Oh, yes.
She
Just going to toss a silver over to
what
you.
your agreements were. I had no idea.
So, a good deal of food then.
I'm going to be stuck in the scribery once I'm done here, so yes, I'm going to
To what
need it.
extent you worked with them.
Understood, sir. Moment.
Ah,
Thank you.
Take a seat and we'll discuss business if you wish.
very well.
Yes. Not at all. I wouldn't mind you ever asking questions.
Sit over here where I
I'd
can
prefer
at
you
least
would ask
attempt to see.
questions rather than not.
Ah,
No, like the system in the bath.
That
would be 35 bathhouse girls.
monsieur.
Slightly less of a headache if I look in this direction.
no, I perfectly understand. Just give me a moment to get comfortable here. There we are.
So allow me to formally introduce myself. Thane Morden Stonehammer of the Stonehammer clan. Emissary to the High King beneath the mountain. Pleasure to be of service.
The emissary. Well, it is a pleasure to meet you.
And therefore,
A
I'm
recent
Sir
title.
Tiberius Helston.
Pleasure is mine, Sir Helston. So, what business do you require of myself?
Well, I'm currently going to be starting looking for possibly a place of residence within Nautus. I am planning to, well, find something more permanent. I'm currently been given up a room to the tavern thanks to the Lord Erhard. And I'm going to be probably speaking with him in turn more when he is available and discussing, well, future events, so to speak. But I would like to at least start getting an understanding of the town and places I should be concerned about in a homestead that would be more secure than anything else. And I'm looking for more private.
There are various places within the town that could serve your needs. Although we have had some issues with thievery and arson as of late, as well as the ever-present... there is this particular alley next to where the seamstress is, that is known by the moniker of Stabber's Alley. I would suggest you not bring your coin purse when travelling down that particular alley, or if you do, make sure your sword is quickly within reach. I myself haven't had any issues being accosted there, but I think that might simply be because they don't want to deal with me. That and the large deterrent I wear on my back.
I see. That's very much good advice.
I can... Well, I am intending to make my way to the scribery today, so what I could do is also bring up the local listed properties and create a selection for you if you wish. If you would like to inform the Lord Erhard that I will provide these to you, and hopefully at some point during your discussion I can send a runner with the material to the Lord, and perhaps it should aid you in your discussions for later.
That would be
Perhaps
very
even the Lord
appreciated.
Erhard can help. The Lord Erhard may be able to help pick out a particular destination for you from experience. That or his son, the young Lord Sharik. I believe he goes by a different moniker, but either which way.
Yes, I had the pleasure of meeting him last night. I'll be sure to bring it up to him then as well.
He may be able to tell you what areas are more or less travelled by those that enjoy the nightly strolls compared to others. The walls themselves are currently in the process of being built, so until they are built, there's going to be a lapse in certain areas for security-wise, simply because of the state that they are in. At the moment, I believe the...
take that side by
This is south of the eastern wall.
I see.
I believe the eastern wall is currently under development.
How has the walls been damaged, if it is alright for me to ask?
Neglect and disrepair, I'm afraid. Something I'm hoping to rectify with my stay here.
I see.
A lot of the areas here you'll note in your passing. There's a lot of neglected areas where they ought not to be. However, I've been working quite hard to fix that particular issue.
Well, it's good to hear that there are some of those who do understand the threats of the world around, and that a good sturdy wall helps protect those within.
My goal is quite simple. Me and my kin will build a wall that would likely outlast this town.
If it is dwarven made, I expect it as such. I've heard legends of the dwarfs and their craftsmanship. Seen a few a little, not much though.
Unfortunately, not all things can stand the test of time, especially if there's no one left to man it. So, at the very least, it will give the city a new aesthetic upon arrival. Instead of looking like it's in disrepair, it will look a lot more cared for.
Well, the lords of these lands will be very blessed
I
to
would
be able to
also-
have the dwarves craft a wall for them. That's a very rare privilege, to say the least.
I would also give you a keen bit of advice. There are two particular areas which I'm fairly sure you've already become aware that you should likely avoid, especially with your complexion.
I'd just like to know what
Oh?
There has to be a curiosity to it, is there?
The docks at the moment are sporting an interesting new development, and they do not like very many people trespassing anywhere near their equipment. So I'd advise against lingering on the docks as much as you can. As for the surgery, the surgeons there are all Imperial born. So you may face a few neglectful stares.
I do not mean to stay and look shady, but... I got you a jerky here, monsieur, if you are the thing I am looking for.
Aye, if you wouldn't mind.
Don't mind me, just sitting.
But as I said, that's about the only things I can think of that could be
Where
of
shall
any
I
real
put it?
danger.
Forgive me.
Oh, that and of course
Deliver to you
the...
a few
Just on the
or-
table here. On the table here, if you would.
Understood, sir.
As I was saying, the only real dangers in this city is the ever-present dagger at your back, which is true for any place in Gradia.
Well, it's not the first time I've had a few stares, let alone a few shady folks of the dark trying to pull something. I very much appreciate that, Lord Thane. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Merely an observation due to my time here. An observation due to my time here, nothing more.
I did have another question, if you would humor me.
Trying to-
If you have the time, of course.
I have nothing but time until my food is finished. Probably soon heading up to the scribery, so I'll likely be having my head stuck in a book for quite some time.
I understand that feeling quite well. I was concerned, what are your thoughts of how the lands are at this time?
The lands of this town.
Yes. If you have anything that's more pressing concerned, or things that you are, well, that are more pressing in your own mind.
Just for the day.
To simply comment, at the moment, of course, there is the war going on between the robber baron and his men, as well as the Imperial and Redod forces here. And that's an obvious one, as they are at war. Although a more pressing matter, at least to those within this area, would probably be the Uruks that are behind the front lines, while the Imperials and the Redods are busy fighting off one another in order to keep the robber baron away. The Uruks have been left somewhat unattended. As a result, they've been building to quite a dangerous concern. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, their camp that used to be in the crags has now become more of a mini fortress. Something that's going to be incredibly difficult to remove. Especially given that the local Uruks have come under new management from Uruks of the more northern variety from abroad. Still trying to figure out where they've come from, which is an
You say
interesting
they're
one.
building within a crag, correct? So what buildings are they doing exactly? All I've ever heard or seen personally is small tents and whatnot. What exactly do...
They have a forge built in the centre of their crag, something that they deem to be very valuable. Very much important to them, and from my understanding they've taken some workers to man it.
They're built a forge, you say?
Very much so. And it is my belief that they have been targeting some of these caravans for more than merely the iron that they supply. As there is one of my kin that was taken by them. He happens to be a smith, and I believe the Uruks are working currently in their camp. There is little I can do to rescue a man from a camp so full of Uruks. Something I hope to rectify in the future, but... These Uruks are not simple. They're not greenskin, they are grey. They're a lot more crafty and a lot smarter than people give them credit for. And just over the past few months, I've noticed an increase in not only their weaponry, their armaments, but the greyskins themselves have increased in number. They're now toting around ogres for manual labour. They have war trolls that have managed to break the Canadian northern border and make their way here. It is something of concern that I have been doing my best to try and counter, but I lack the manpower and the means to do so. Something I hope to rectify in the coming days. I still need to figure out where they're coming from. That's the big problem.
Well...
I have my suspicions, but I can't get near the mountains to check them due to the current war.
I see. Has the barons and, well, the elves have done anything? After all, they are quite close to the border, it sounds like.
The elves have sent the rangers to manage the area near their border, and it has resulted in the deaths of a great many of the Uruks, but they can only do so much upon themselves. I had hoped to gather more people back some time ago and attempted to attack them where they were less fortified, but now it's no longer a case of simply infiltrating. Their towers have become more sturdy. They've got walls, defences in amongst the crags. They even have wargs amongst their number. The crags are essentially now a fortress. Can't simply be wandered into anymore.
I see.
Something people have been neglecting, I'm afraid, but there's only so much that can be done. The place is at war. They have their own priorities there, but for me, my duty has me keep an eye on the Urks who are also tending to other issues. I can only do so much.
I'm sure I'm back far.
What are your opinions?
I believe everyone believed you would be gone a lot longer.
Noble house here, if you may,
To be
if
fair,
I
so
may
did I.
ask.
That's... Yes. Let's just hope she hasn't moved on already.
Do you mean the Radods or the Vipects?
Are you kidding me?
The Radods, if I would. The ones who
woman has
lay claim over Nautis.
So the only respect is the fact that she looks like she would be more than willing to put a dagger in your throat if she had the
He's going to say it very quietly.
So, no. I
To
doubt
one
she
such as myself,
You'll be fine.
the adults and
See,
currents
I haven't
are
seen her
more
this
like
morning.
bickering children.
I don't know if she's around.
They've lost their parental
Not seen
figures,
her.
and as a result, they are
Okay.
lashing out in various ways.
Got it. Okay.
Baron M is doing his best and has made mistakes in the past. This is
Okay,
true.
I'll
Baron Kovas, I would be
few
careful
words.
around him
Good
if
to
I were
see
you. Very careful.
I very
But I
much
can't
appreciate
speak ill
that.
of my...
Your wisdom is very
I
much
cannot speak
appreciated.
ill of the hosts as much as I would like to, but that is merely my 2 cents.
That is more than I could have asked for. I thank you very much, Lord Thane.
Oh my god, so you were fucking like a size of a
Morning, mate.
when you were a child.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit.
There are a great many things I need to deal with.
Yes, and I do apologize for taking so much of your
What do
time.
you think each time's
I
gonna
must
fight
say.
in a day?
You're perfectly fine. I will be taking this food with me,
And this here's the local tavern.
as I'll be likely very busy.
If I'm capable of helping with any of your current issues, please do inform me. Though I am not well equipped at this time, I will try to assist when I can.
Which was decades ago.
I will keep that in mind, but the one you should be assisting at the moment would probably be Lord Earthart.
Hey, George.
Yes, I plan to have a conversation with the man today at some point. I was expecting to meet him this morning, but it seems business may have kept him
All
preoccupied.
I can tell you is I'm in
He's
my
sent no one to see me, so I might just do a walk around.
Lovely women of the Imperium.
Look,
53 maybe.
I will be making my way toward
debating
the
my
keep,
age, really.
and will likely disappear for some time.
I do have one more question, if you would humor me.
Morning, Harper.
The High Inquisitor.
Doesn't make me feel not old, though.
What are your thoughts on that?
Now.
Of course not, Sandy.
Step forward. It's fine,
Nobody would
Sandy.
call
No
you
one would say
Sandy.
that to you.
Not here. Come with me.
Hey, how's the,
Please, Lord Thane. You don't?
I mean,
It may sound a bit absurd, but my opinion on that particular gentleman is yet to be properly determined. Apologies, I had a voice in my head for a moment there. I had to fix that.
No problem. None at all.
I don't know what's going on. The guard got involved. What made it more crazy is the Imperial got involved and got recommended by there.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, I don't want to say got involved.
Interesting.
They helped resolve the situation.
Get very close to some unwanted territory, but
The Inquisitor in question. He's an odd one thus far. At least in my observation. He's not like his peers. At least not as far as I've seen thus far. But I haven't had much of a chance to interact with the man. Apart from the obvious racial discrepancies between our people. I myself have no love for anyone bearing the red and gold. Plain and simple. But He's an odd one. So far, I haven't seen him do what others often attribute to that of the work of the Inquisition. Otherwise, it would be pyres lined outside. I'd be careful. Anyone that dons such a vestment is not without skill.
I'm very much aware of their capabilities. Thank you, Lord Thane, for your concern and your information.
I merely did not wish for the Umge to hear me kick up a storm when there is none. But I can only speak truthfully when it regards these things. I hesitate to even call them people. Inquisitors I have seen in my past have left quite the impression.
Yes.
It's difficult for me to see anything other than murdering psychopaths. Mass murdering psychopaths.
They are...
Be careful.
Yeah, I very much appreciate that, Lord Thane. I will tread lightly as I cross paths with them.
If you can, try not to make an enemy of him in Gradian. He should not be able to do anything against you, at least out in the open.
Well, as the saying goes, when one gets a thought in their mind, and young, and ambitious, usually the trouble finds you no matter what.
Best to keep an eye on things, lad. See what happens, but be careful.
I will do just that. Thank you. I will no longer take any more of your time, Lord Thane. I thank you very much for your time and patience, and your consideration.
It's been a pleasure. Having the opportunity to vent some of the frustrations I have been dealing with has been quite refreshing.
Well, it has been an absolute pleasure. I have tasks to handle today, so I will leave you to your business. Good day to you.
Good day to you, lad.
Interesting. The orc threat is more dangerous than I ever dreamed of. Building of structures at that. I've heard rumors and textures about it. But to be actually happening. Interesting. We'll have to recall more of it. Take time, gather more information. However, the lack of naivety of this lord may prove beneficial. Maybe.